tonight, I really want to focus on following through on promises. Evidence of our progress is really visible everywhere. We're one of the great Renaissance stories in the country. Some of you grew up here, and you can remember when people would choose to leave the city as a sign of their success. They made it when they left. Who would have imagined a day like today exists where people clamor and aspire to call Jersey City home as a definition of their success? The exact opposite. People are expressing their approval through their actions, which leads me to the conversation of economic development and building housing that is affordable. Jersey City has become the state's economic backbone. We've driven unprecedented growth through unmatched housing development. We're attracting businesses and driving tax revenue, and we're easing the financial pressures for our residents. In 2013, if you remember, development was only concentrated in one area of the city, along the waterfront. From the very start, we set out to do something different. Our pledge was to reinvest Jersey City as a place where families can thrive, businesses flourish, and opportunities exist for everyone. Through thoughtful planning, we've changed the entire city for the better. Central to these efforts is housing construction. It's a key factor in fighting the state's affordability crisis. While New York City falls short on housing, Jersey City here is punching far above its weight. We've built 275% more housing per capita than New York City over the last year. Think about that. We outbuilt the majority of the boroughs of New York City. And I want to repeat that so you understand what those numbers look like. 275% more housing per capita than New York City. We are pulling our share. Development in cities around the region has dramatically slowed. However, due to our team's efforts here in Jersey City, the opposite is true. Last year alone, nearly 9,000 affordable and market rate units were approved by planning. Since 2015, we've approved 68,000 residential units. When I told you earlier that we are the economic backbone of New Jersey, I was very serious about that. To improve city services, we made some changes in June of 2023. We migrated the entire system for housing and economic development to a one-stop online platform that also merges all of the applications on the MUA. It's not the most sexy thing that you see every day, but it is difficult and it means a lot to the city operations. It's no small achievement. It modernizes the city, and we're going to leave our permitting process in a much better place for the next mayor. So from construction permits to building licenses and everything in between, in just 18 months, we've processed 50,000 applications, 47,000 inspections have been done, and that all totals more than $43 million in this more efficient system. It's working, and we are very proud of that. But we don't just want growth for growth's sake. Our approach has really emphasized smart development that is sustainable and serves the people who live and work here. Our strategy has worked. Families are staying, businesses are investing, and people are building long-term lives here. Despite the strict requirements that the council put in place with our administration to mandate developers to create more affordable housing, like the first and most successful inclusionary zoning and the affordable housing overlay zone, our commitment to affordability has steered us in a much more positive direction. Since establishing under our administration the Division of Affordable Housing in 2019, we've approved more affordable units than ever before. And as we increase the supply of affordable housing, we also must make it easier and more accessible to those that need it most. In July of last year, we changed how our most vulnerable residents can find affordable housing with the launch of the Consolidated Affordable Housing Portal. Over 2,900 applications for affordable housing were processed through the portal in just the first 6 months. It's a big accomplishment. Also, projects like Bayfront are redefining urban development. The transformation of that vacant 100-acre site will provide the most affordable housing of any private mixed-income community of its size in the country, and it will transform the entire west side of Jersey City. Who would have thought that Jersey City would have been able to achieve this? When we arrived, the city didn't even own that property, and it was only slated on the zoning for 5 to 10% affordable housing. But thanks to the partnership with the City Council, we secured ownership and increased that affordability requirement to 35%. It's an increase of 2,000 units that will benefit generations to come that live in Jersey City. For the last 3 years, we've been working tirelessly on the infrastructure there. And after years of work, we are scheduled to break ground on the first building this spring. It is a huge milestone for Jersey City.